But I know you
But
never
you have
paid,
to
under
go
your
through
administration, you guys
Iran.
never
It's
paid
all
ransom.
coming through, Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to he doesn't even mention them in his statements. It's all coming through Iran.
Well, you mean President Biden. So, but right
No,
now.
I also mean Obama.
What do you mean?
I mean Obama and Biden, but Obama is Biden's boss, in case you didn't really know that.
You believe
Obama is,
you believe President
in my
Obama
opinion, the boss. I don't think Biden knows what's happening, to be honest with you. I think that Obama is calling these shots, and he's always felt this way about Iran. There's no question about that. No, I think Obama and Obama's people certainly are calling the shots, not Biden.
So you don't have this is just your gut tells you, but you don't have any proof that President Obama is calling the shots.
No, it's my gut, but
Yeah.
my gut's been right about everything. So,
It's good.
They have an expression out there. Trump's been right about everything. You take a look go down the list. We've been right about everything.
So you know how volatile
We're right
the Middle
about
East
war.
is.
We're right about all of the people pouring into our country. Right about Ukraine. We're right about everything.
So what do we do?
And,
What do we
no,
do about getting our
that's
people
right.
back?
There are a lot of people from Obama in the administration that circle the Oval Office desk, the Resolute desk, and it's one of those things. But whether that's the case or it's Biden, we are in a mess right now, a mess that should have never happened.
I legitimately do not know which is worse. The fact that Donald Trump still thinks that the current president is Barack Obama, or that when he was corrected and notified that in fact Joe Biden is the current president, Trump's response was to dig in his heels and pretend that nope, he's actually still right, Barack Obama is the president, and even if he's not physically there, he's still the one calling the shots. If the stupidity wasn't enough to turn you off, it is the confidence in that stupidity. I mean, honestly, this guy is so insecure that instead of just accepting the fact that he screwed up so he could move on, he'd rather go off on some incoherent tangent about how Obama and his staff are still calling the shots in the White House. Even Brian Kilmeade is audibly confused. And this is the guy who has the audacity to call Joe Biden cognitively impaired. Pretty sure that Biden, at a bare minimum, can name the US presidents. And look, I wouldn't normally do a video on Trump misstating something because God knows that the guy struggles to get through even a single sentence. But this isn't a one-off. Trump has presented himself as obviously confused for weeks now. This isn't even the first time in so many days that he wasn't sure who's in the White House or who he ran against in previous elections. Here he is suggesting that he beat Obama in the last election.
As you know, crooked Joe Biden and the radical left thugs who have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading political opponent, and leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done. This is the same thing. The country was very divided. And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. We beat Hillary Clinton. Now, you know, I used to call her Crooked Hillary.
And here he is suggesting that Jeb Bush was the president who got us involved in the war in the Middle East.
It's less than 4 months before the season starts. We start in Iowa, we go to New Hampshire, we come down here. You know, the beauty was when I came here, everyone thought Bush was going to win. And then they took a poll and they found out Trump was up by about 50 points. Everyone said, what's going on right here? They thought Bush, because Bush supposedly was a military person. Great. You know what he was a military? He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win. Jeb, remember Jeb? He used the word Jeb. He didn't use the word Bush. I said, you mean he's ashamed of the last name? And then they immediately started using the name Bush. Never forget it.
And speaking of war, here's Trump warning about the prospect of us getting involved in World War II.
We have a man who is totally corrupt and the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war. Just think of it. We would be in World War II very quickly.
Yeah, wouldn't want to get wrapped up in a second world war. Okay, time for bed, Grandpa. And so the point I'm trying to make is that Donald Trump is unilaterally undermining the GOP's most potent attack against Joe Biden. They want you to think that Joe Biden is too old to even know how to tie his shoes, and that's the narrative they push all day, every day. Meanwhile, while that guy has overseen the biggest job growth in modern U.S. history, the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, and the most consequential legislation passed in our lifetimes, you've got their own guy, Donald Trump, who doesn't know that Obama left the White House in 2016, who doesn't know that World War II happened almost 80 years years ago, who thinks that Jeb Bush was the president. If Joe Biden is in cognitive decline, then I swear to God Donald Trump must be clinically brain dead. And by the way, there is a reason that Republicans need to hammer away at this talking point. It's because they're constantly being undermined by the reality that Biden's not just sharp, but sharper than the very people attacking him. Don't forget what happened at the State of the Union when Biden put Republicans on the spot by forcing them to disavow their own position of attacking earned benefits.
Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion. You know, it means if Congress doesn't keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is that we're not going to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't respond. Folks, as we all apparently agree, Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be spent. All right. We got unanimity. Social Security and Medicare are a lifeline for millions of seniors. Americans have to pay into them from the very first paycheck they started. So tonight, let's all agree, and we apparently are, let's stand up for seniors. Stand up and show them. We will not cut Social Security. We will not cut Medicare. Those benefits belong to the American people. They earned it. And if anyone tries to cut Social Security, which apparently no one's going to do, and if anyone tries to cut Medicare, I'll stop them. I'll veto it. And look, I'm not going to allow them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem.
And in case there was still any doubt as to Biden's effectiveness, well, here's Matt Gaetz just putting that to rest with one single sentence.
It is going to be difficult for my Republican friends to keep calling President Biden feeble while he continues to take Speaker McCarthy's lunch money in every negotiation.
So the next time you hear the usual mouthpieces on Fox or in the Republican Party try to claim that Biden is in the throes of cognitive decline, go ahead and ask them if they're going to vote for Donald Trump. Because you can claim to care about a president's mental state, or you can claim to support Donald Trump, but you can't do both. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.